It's finally here, Super Mario Maker 2, the game that lets you push the boundaries of what the 2D Mario experience is, as well as your own creativity. Anyone can pick up the game and start creating a course in seconds. So this will be an introductory guide on the basic fundamentals of Mario Maker level design. Let's get started. I believe there are 4 key principles to keep in mind while creating a level. Now these key points are pretty broad, and that's on purpose. These will apply to any level you want to create. Let's jump into key number 1, which is simplicity. If at any point a player is confused and has no idea what to do in your level, that's on you. It's your job to make it as easy to understand as possible. As designers, we get to see everything from a bird's eye view. We know what to do in every section of a level because we put it there. There's a reason why playtesting is an important step in making any kind of game. Putting a player who is unfamiliar with what's in front of them and seeing how they handle it helps us view our creation from a different perspective. Now, most of you, myself included, probably don't have access to playtesters, so it's our responsibility to look at our level through the lens of a new player. Whether that's teaching a player how a certain combination of assets work in a safe environment before making it more challenging, to simply adding indicators for where to go or what to do. Luckily, given that this is a sequel, the community has already come up with ways to effectively communicate more complex things to the player. Arrows can tell a player where to go or draw their attention to something important. Coins can also be used this way, showing where to jump or even how many times to jump in a certain spot. And track pieces can also be used to draw helpful indicators as well. Lines can help the player better understand where they should be jumping, and open boxes like these indicate where to throw certain objects. The second key to creating a good level is striking a balance between rewards and punishments. The player should feel like they've earned their victory and that their fate was entirely in their own control. If the player is forced to guess on what to do, such as picking the right door or making a blind jump, it won't feel rewarding, even if they pick correctly, and feels especially frustrating when they don't. What you should also keep in mind is that sometimes death isn't necessary after every mistake. When a player dies, they have to wait for the death animation to complete, and for the level to load all over again. The more time they spend dying, the less time they are enjoying your level. Even if you're creating a difficult course, consider moving those spike blocks up one tile or adding a floor to that pit to allow them to retry. Placing checkpoints in the appropriate spot will also keep the player motivated to complete your stage. Make them feel like they've earned it, that they've conquered a significant challenge and were rewarded with a less costly death. If a section of a level is almost guaranteed to kill the player their first try, you should also consider placing a checkpoint immediately or shortly before it. This will allow them to retry the tricky part without the stress of going through the entire level just for one more shot. Key number 3 is creating a cohesive experience. You should know what kind of level you're making, and every decision should reinforce it. Don't be afraid to use lots of different enemies and items together, but refrain from throwing in too much that don't seem to coexist naturally. Picking a theme can also go a long way in making your level feel intentional. Committing to a certain set of assets will force you to think of different ways in which they can be used, which leads to pretty innovative ideas. Another point to keep in mind is structuring your level properly. Whatever theme you choose, whether it's a specific enemy, a type of platform, or even just a general aesthetic, it's best to slowly expand on that theme over the course of the entire stage. Start small and work your way up to the exciting stuff without blowing your load too early, so to speak. The fourth key is making levels you would have fun playing. If you're playing through your level and you find yourself starting to get frustrated with it, that should be a huge red flag that something is wrong. If you, the creator, are frustrated by your own course, the player will most certainly be even more frustrated. Always put the player first and create something that you have fun playing. Whether that's capturing the feel of the original Mario games, testing your abilities with a difficult Kaizo, exploring a haunted mansion, racing through an airship, solving an ancient riddle, whatever it may be. Just make sure that it's fun. Now, this is just the beginning. If you'd like to take these concepts and expand upon them, I've got more Mario Maker level design tips to the left here. Things like how to properly structure your level to how to even come up with level ideas in the first place. And I'm making these guides on a regular basis, so you might as well subscribe. As always, thanks for watching.